What I'm about to say is going to make you feel like I'm punching you in the gut. But you're never going to be able to save your relationship if you keep using tactics or by changing as many things about yourself as you possibly can. Women see right through that crap. And not only do they see right through it, but oftentimes it makes things worse, because by the time she tells you that she wants to bone out, or she wants to separate, or she wants a divorce, or maybe even just that she needs some space, there's a fire burning inside of her. And so if your plan is to use some tactics and make some changes because you think that's what's going to save your relationship, what you're really doing is just adding gasoline to a fire that's already out of control. Because from her perspective, those changes and those tactics aren't real. Because here's the thing about tactics. They miss the most important piece when you're trying to save your relationship. Understanding. The fire inside of her is burning out of control because she doesn't feel understood. And she also doesn't feel like you're ever going to be able to. Now, this doesn't mean that you're a bad dude. It just means that there's a love incompatibility issue somewhere. And it also doesn't mean that I think she's perfect or that she didn't contribute to the relationship falling apart or to how you're feeling or any of that. In fact, in my own relationship for many years, Jeff was the one who was coming to the table very defensive and very angry about things because he was the one who wasn't having his emotional needs being fulfilled. Because I didn't naturally offer love to him the way that he naturally needs to receive it. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm here to justify and say that it's okay to feel angry and to lash out and be defensive on your partner. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is in a lot of cases, a lot of these relationships are falling apart because somewhere somebody's emotional needs, whether it's yours or hers, they're not being fulfilled in the way the other person needs. And that starts to cause very unhealthy reactions, behaviors, and patterns that start showing up in our relationship dynamic. And so when she gets to a point where she wants to leave, it's because she can no longer justify staying in the relationship. But here's something else, guys. For most men, it's not just her they need to understand. Most men, just like in my husband's case, don't really even understand themselves. They don't understand why they get angry. They don't understand why they feel the need to defend themselves. They don't understand why they may shut down or why they may feel like they have to justify every little thing or why they have to combat her emotions with having to be an attorney who brings her proof of all the reasons why what she's feeling and what she's thinking is wrong. They don't really truly understand themselves enough to really understand what's going on inside of them that is making them behave in those ways. They don't understand the resentment that they hold on to or even notice it when it shows up in the relationship. They don't really understand themselves on a deeper level to be able to have awareness of why they sometimes have reactions that feel very unhealthy to her. So here's what's really important to understand. You're in this position because somewhere along the way, someone, whether it was you or whether it was her, sometimes it's both of you, someone was feeling emotionally unfulfilled, not loved in the way they need for quite some time. And when we're feeling emotionally unfulfilled or not feeling loved in the way that we need, we unintentionally, whether it's you doing it or whether it's her doing it, take it out on our partner, which then causes an avalanche effect where your partner is now reacting and you're reacting. And before either of you know it, you're spiraling down this mountain, totally spinning so fast, you're out of control, and neither of you know how to stop it or how it started spinning so fast to begin with. I know this because I've been there. I've been spiraling down that mountain out of control with Jeff. And the reason I was able to save our relationship was because I accidentally stumbled upon the real issue. What the root cause of why both of us were having those unhealthy reactions that got us stuck in this unhealthy cycle and pattern loops where we kept unintentionally and then after a while intentionally hurting one another. And Jeff and I will be talking about that in our next video, exactly how we stumbled upon what the real issue of our problems were. But it all comes down to a love incompatibility mismatch. Our love communication was incompatible, and that was the root cause to all of our problems. And all of our unhealthy reactions to one another, they all stemmed from not feeling emotionally fulfilled in the way we needed. And for many of you guys watching this, you're having the exact same issues without even realizing it in your own relationship. But just like Jeff and I weren't aware of it, you're not aware of it because no one's talking about this. So once I was able to actually figure out that we were mismatched in how we communicated love, Jeff was then able to regulate his emotions better because a lot of his unhealthy reactions were coming from the fact that he felt unloved in the way he needed to feel loved. And Jeff and I actually talk about how he's learned to regulate his emotions. So if you want to check out that video, I'll definitely link that video at the end of this one. So definitely check that one out next. Now here's something that I want to be very clear on. Regulating your emotions is not a tactic and does not mean stifling how you really feel. If you were stifling how you really feel in order to just be an emotional leader for your girl, well then yeah, that's a tactic. But the thing is if you don't get to the deeper root cause, which is really understanding yourself and understanding why you feel like you want to act certain ways, it is just a tactic. Because once you can understand the why and understand why your nervous system is going out of control and why you're getting defensive or why you're shutting down, that's the true way to be able to regulate yourself. Because when a lot of us are having these unhealthy reactions, it's coming from inside of us. We don't even know why. We don't know why we're feeling certain ways. We just know that we have to defend, we have to justify, we have to become the attorney, we have to shut down. All of us have figured out ways to protect ourselves. And really, it's unhealthy to our partner. And if you can understand why you're feeling that way, which again, it's your love communication styles mismatched. You're not feeling loved, so you're feeling rejected, or maybe your partner's not feeling loved. So if your partner's not feeling loved and she says she doesn't feel loved, then you want to come and you want to be the attorney and you want to tell her all the reasons why she's wrong. Okay? You've got to understand each other. Understanding is the key. When you can truly understand, then you can regulate yourself, and it's not a tactic because you understand it's coming from a place of understanding, not from a place of, I'm going to zip my mouth and I'm just going to be an emotional leader and not tell her how I really feel because this is what I have to do to save my relationship. Fake ass smile. No, that doesn't save the relationship. I don't want you to stifle yourself. I want you to understand yourself. That's the key. That's what this is all about. And the next video that Jeff and I are doing together, we're talking about love communication styles. We're going to talk about exactly how I stumbled upon it and why it's so important. So definitely check that one out. We'll be releasing it next week. And here's the thing, guys. Most good women don't want you stifling your emotions. What they want is to hear about how you feel in a healthy way that doesn't make them feel like a piece of shit. And I'm sure you want the same thing. You want her to be able to talk to you in a way that doesn't make you feel like a piece of shit. When relationships start crumbling, gosh, that's really hard to do. So that if tactics don't work, I'm sure you guys are probably wondering right now, okay, Mindy, well, what does actually work? Each of you watching this right now is in a different place in your relationship. Some of you are still living together and just roommates. Others, she said that she wants a divorce. Others, she said she needs space. And in some cases, she said that she's open to working on it. Every single one of you guys right now watching this is in a different place. But what's important is every single one of you needs to do the exact same thing as step one. And that is you have to start accepting how she's feeling right now. Whatever it is that she's feeling, accept it. Whether she wants space, whether she says she doesn't love you anymore, whether she says that she wants a divorce, first thing to do is accept it. Now, accepting it doesn't mean you're stifling how you feel. Accepting doesn't mean you have to like it or that you have to want the same thing. And in fact, you can even say that to her. You can say, I don't want this, but I respect how you feel. You can absolutely communicate to her and say, hey, is there any way that we can try to fix this? I'm open if you are. But if she says, no, I don't want that, at that point, you've got to say, okay, I don't want it, but I respect it. Not pushing back doesn't mean you're stifling how you feel. You can communicate what you're feeling, but just do it once and then back off. Let her have the space to feel what she's feeling and respect it. That's going to go a lot further with her than you continuously pushing her and telling her that she's breaking up the family and she's costing you guys a lot of money and that she's making a mistake. If you push her, you're going to push her off the cliff. So don't do that. Just respect where she is emotionally for the moment. And then the next thing you do, guys, is you focus on understanding, really understanding yourself and understanding why she's to this point. And what I noticed is a lot of guys think they know why someone's to the point. Like for an example, in my own relationship, I know Jeff knew that I wanted to leave because he was always angry and he was defensive. And when I would try to bring something up to him, he would make me feel like I wasn't allowed to feel something. But the thing is he didn't understand why he did that. And because he didn't understand, he wasn't able to fix it until he understood. And that's why the second thing, guys, first thing, respect her, respect where she's at. But the second thing, guys, you've got to start understanding yourself. Understand your why. Why? What's happening inside of you? Are you feeling insecure? Are you feeling rejected? Are you doing everything and she's not doing anything? What is it? Every single one of you is something else. Figure it out. You're going to want to ask yourself one really important question. You're going to want to ask yourself, what has she been emotionally experiencing? Have you been perfect? Before I stumbled upon love communication styles, Jeff absolutely at one point in the relationship thought that he was perfect. He thought that it was all me and that I was the total bad guy. And at one point, I thought the same thing about him. So you've got to break that thought process. You've got to break, it's kind of in a way, it's a victim mindset where it's like our partner doesn't understand us, so F them. You've got to break that mindset and shift your mindset into one of, okay, what were they experiencing? And this is really hard to do. It's really hard to step out of your own emotional experience and ask what their emotional experience was. And for some of you guys watching this, you do want to understand her emotional experience, but you're having a really hard time with that. And if you're serious about saving your relationship and you're done with tactics, register for my Love Communication Challenge. There's a limited number of seats, but register and I'll notify you when the next one goes live, and that way you can grab your ticket. I really hope this video was helpful, guys, and watch this video next where Jeff and I have our very first conversation about how important it is to regulate your emotions. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and let's really focus on not just trying to save the relationship, but on falling back in love.